It has begun the race for the 2024 electoral cycle. And all across the country in rapid succession, so many things are going to happen. We're going to find it tough to keep up, but let's track where the big players are moving the chess pieces today. Here is a damn interesting one. The man on your screens, Chandrababu Naidu, wiped out in Indian politics at the state and at the center, left the NDA, some would say suffered for it, went through the ignominy of the nastiest kinds of persecution. I mean, the man was not even allowed to board flights and double searched at airports. I mean, he's been a former chief minister of the country, for God's sake. All sorts of humiliation was thrown at him. And now look at the gathering that has just taken place in the Naidu in Andhra Pradesh. Okay? And that is not Chandrababu Naidu. Live shots, to the best of my knowledge, are on your screens. And guess who's with him? Narendra Modi. This is the first time in the better part of 5 years that Narendra Modi and Chandrababu Naidu are on a stage together, campaigning together as allies, looking to upset the apple cart that Jagan Reddy has kept for himself pretty steady in Andhra Pradesh. And this battle is not just for the Lok Sabha seats out of Andhra, but also for the chief ministership of the state. Now, which way does it go? How does it go? Look at that, Narendra Modi sitting on the stage as Chandrababu Naidu is speaking. We'll listen into a bit what Narendra Modi says in just a bit also. Let me open up this telecast because a fascinating development is taking place. So you have Modi Naidu versus Jagan versus his sister YS Sharbila, who's now head of the Congress in Andhra Pradesh. And the Congress, remember, has just won elections in Telangana. So they feel that they are on the roll. I know that the state elections and the national elections are two different things. They are actually two different things because of the man on your screens. Okay? A lot of people might just vote for a different party at the state, but they still vote for Narendra Modi at the center. So it's not the exact same thing, but nonetheless, let's pick up this conversation to understand this dramatic turn in fortunes is taking place. Why indeed it was the BJP under Narendra Modi that's found their best hope in an alliance with Chandrababu Naidu once again. Let's open up this conversation. Joining us on the broadcast is S. Vijay Krishna of the YSR Congress. Rajalakshmi Joshi is joining us on the broadcast. Gyanendra Mishra is joining us. Ashutosh Sharma with us as well. And NV Subhash of the BJP will be joining us very shortly. Mr. Krishna, if you can hear me, sir, my voice is reaching you. What do you make of this alliance between the TDP and the BJP, sir? Okay, I don't think he can hear us. I'm going to try to get him in just a bit. Put the same question to Rajalakshmi Joshi. Rajalakshmi Joshi, I mean, it was really ugly when the alliance fell apart. And it was ugly mostly for Chandrababu Naidu. I mean, he's been in a political wilderness for a long period of time, not only facing persecution, but humiliations. I won't say to the same level that Jagan faced them, that the Congress government at the center made him go through all sorts of persecution. But Naidu's back, and he's back with Modi. What do you make of it?
Good afternoon, Rishabh. Yes, you know what is happening in Andhra Pradesh is, I would say it's surprising, and at the same time, you know, you could even say that it is quite expected also, because, you know, a lot of people who had left the NDA fold are now coming back to the fold. If you can see that even some of them who had even been a part of this India alliance for some time, like for example, Nitish Kumar, just imagine that he was the one who had actually been at the forefront, and he was the one who had actually brought together all of them, and yet he was the first one probably to leave the fold and come back to the NDA. So I am not really all that shocked, but then I would say that yes, this is a little surprising turn of events, because this again shows that, you know, probably there is you know, the NDA is definitely gaining all the strength. They're gaining a lot of alliance partners, and you know, in every state the BJP is tying hands with all these regional parties. So even the ones who had you know, they have had some bitter exchanges in the past, even all of that, they've just put all of them under the bridge. They've you know, let it all go. Like again, Biju Janata Dal also, if you can see, you know, that also is coming back to the NDA fold. So, you know, it is not really shocking, because all of them are coming back together because they see that they
Okay.
have definitely a lot more prospects being a part of the NDA than being without it.
Okay, all right. Like I said, we have to understand that this is a Modi era in Indian politics right now. Okay, he is the man to beat. It's his party to take on. Wherever he goes, it's him who's the towering figure against whoever else there might be at the state or at the national level. There's no denying that. That doesn't mean that other political parties don't have a fair shot in constituencies or can't take on the BJP or can beat them. Certainly, of course, they can. But that's it's like, let me put it this way. In Formula 1, there was an era of Michael Schumacher. In Indian cricket, there was an era of Sachin Tendulkar. Okay. Now, that doesn't mean other people couldn't score runs and help win matches and the team didn't matter. Of course it did. Okay. But there was just an era. There was an Indira Gandhi era in Indian politics. There was a Jawaharlal Nehru era in India politics. And there was a Mahatma Gandhi era right before that. So, there are towering figures sometimes that cast a long shadow over the rest. So let's not be naive and pretend that doesn't exist. But within that sequence, let me get Mr. Krishna into this conversation. Mr. Krishna, why is it Chandrababu Naidu? Why is it not you? Why is it not your party chief with Narendra Modi, who is a popular national leader, who can offer you political support, could have offered you political support? Why do you think your main political opponent is with Modi right now and not you?
Hi, thanks for having us. So let me just give you a little background here. First of all, when Mr. Jagan Reddy started the party about 12 years ago, 13 years ago, we contested the 2014 elections independently on our own. We lost with a very slim margin of less than about 1% vote share. We stayed with the people. We played the role of the opposition constructively. In 2019, we won with an astounding 50% vote share, 150 plus MLAs, 22 out of 25 MPs. The message we took to the people in 2019 was very simple. We put out a manifesto, a very simple, clean, and easy to understand manifesto with 9 points. Today, in 2024, we can proudly say, under the leadership of Ms. Jagan Reddy, we have fulfilled 99% of the manifesto that we put forward in 2019, probably a record that was never achieved in independent India. And we are very confident that we are going to win again in 2024 with the same formula, which is that we go alone. We have a very simple message for the people, which is that we delivered on the promises we promised you 5 years ago. So we have a track record. Please vote for us based on the track record that we are showing you, not on empty promises that people are making today, but on our track record over the last 5 years of
So let me ask you about that. For people watching the broadcast who might have forgotten, okay, your party chief, who after losing his father, faced years of persecution in the nastiest ways, and many would say it was out and out political persecution. He didn't give up. He got through it. He survived it, all sorts of imprisonment and beyond. He came back. He got the support of the people. The YSR Congress, ladies and gentlemen, won 19 seats in the Lok Sabha, one of the major seat wins in 2019, and of course formed a government in the state, and so much so that it's been untouched, unchallenged at any level, because nobody was close enough to challenge them at the state level. So if Modi is the man to beat at the center, surely in Andhra Pradesh, it is Jagan Reddy. He is the person to beat. So why did the two people not be able to come together? You would have had a very powerful combination in Andhra, maybe an all-sweeping combination.
See, our leader, Mr. Jagan Reddy, has been very straightforward from the first day we founded the party, that we have an independent philosophy, we have an independent agenda. We respect Mr. Narendra Modi's leadership as a prime minister at the central level. Frankly speaking, I think we don't want to comment on his alliances and Mr. Modi's agenda outside our state. But as far as our state is concerned, Mr. Jagan Reddy has been very clear that we want to go alone because we have an independent agenda and we have a program which has been very successful over the last 5 years. And I think the people are with us. I think we will exceed our count of 22.
Okay. I have another question before I come back to the rest of the guests. Okay.
Yeah.
Given what happened to the late great YSR, okay, given the subsequent persecution that his son faced under what was then a Congress-led government at the center, how is it that Y. Sharmila ji is now leading the Congress in Andhra?
See, that's a that's a question you have to ask Sharmila ji, right?
I have
mean,
asked her.
frankly
I have asked her this question last week. I'm trying to ask you, how are you
Very good.
guys processing it?
And I think, frankly, her answers. I mean, lot of people have been asking her this question. I think her answers to these questions are kind of projection of her personal issues into the public sphere. I mean,
But
personal
how can
issues.
she dislike you and her brother more than the Congress after everything that the Congress did or did not do?
That is a paradoxical situation, which again she has to clarify, which she has not. I mean, it's a democratic country; each one is free to do what they want. But frankly speaking, I think her position in the Congress party is tenuous at best, and I don't know why we don't know why she's doing it, and it seems to be that she's mixing up personal issues with the public sphere, which is not what politics is about.
Okay, let me get Gyanendra Mishra into this conversation. Gyanendra Mishra ji, now let's talk about Chandrababu Naidu, because there was a time, sir, not too long ago, where the DMK was part of a ruling coalition under the UPA, was racked by all sorts of charges under 2G scam and this scam and that scam, saw several of its prominent leaders, A. Raja, Kani Modi, spend time in jail, face persecution. All those they were acquitted for, they all returned to parliament, and they were down to zero Lok Sabha and hardly a handful of seats in the assembly. Many people could have said down and out, maybe they're finished. But they were not finished. Chandrababu Naidu has been down and out, but is he finished? Gyanendra ji.
Okay, yeah, okay. Thank you. Good evening, Bilati ji. No, obviously, Chandrababu Naidu and BJP both in Andhra Pradesh is fighting for their survival. BJP obviously is trying to, make its foothold in South, which is constantly failed to do. And for the Chandrababu Naidu, it is again do and die situation. And they have chosen to be an ally. I think they are free to choose every political party is free to choose their ally. As far as Jagan Mohan Reddy is concerned, I think there is a huge incumbency against him. Particularly with the way the Jagan Mohan Reddy's style of politics, which is, I think, on the same line as KCR, where he believed more in doling out, the freebies to the poor, and then thinking that giving, these kind of freebies to the poor will make him an invincible leader, while, in my view, neglecting the kind of development which Andhra Pradesh people expected out of him. And therefore, as far as the alliance between, I believe, Chandrababu Naidu and BJP is concerned, as I said, it is obviously completely in political expediency.
Okay.
And they are well within it.
Yeah, of course, it's political expediency. They're all in it because they see a confluence of interest. I'm not rejecting that because it'll be naive to do so. But there is a large crowd in Palnadu right now. Substantially large crowd. You can argue whether they've come for Naidu or Modi or for both. Okay, they've come out of curiosity or out of support. They've been brought in by buses or actually care. You can have all these sorts of arguments. But there's no doubt about it that a person who was in the wilderness for the better part of the last 5 years, down, many would say out, finished, okay, is back. Now, whether proof of the pudding, of course, is in the eating on whether you can win this or not. So let me put this question to Ashutosh ji. Ashutosh ji, what do you make of the political situation? Now, so you have Modi Naidu versus Jagan versus YS Sharmila Rahul.
Well, I would say this is the Modi era, and the political parties, they are looking for the interest. Where is the interest, in what side are they beneficial? It is good for them to join BJP or to fight election at their own. Right now, like we say, the Chandrababu Naidu, he's been in wilderness for last 5 years, and now he thinks that when the Modi era is there, there's a wave. Modi has won 2 consecutive elections, and BJP party did not have much hold in South India. So it's beneficial for the Modi BJP party as well as the Chandrababu and other alliance, those who are joining BJP, to fight the election together so that they can make a comeback. Because for last 5 years or so, they were totally out of politics, or they were outdated. They faced persecution, they faced humiliation, they were in wilderness. And after having all those kind of things, now they thought seriously, if they want to stay afloat, if they want to float on the politics, they want to stay alive, it is much more beneficial for them to join the.
So who is piggybacking? Is Chandrababu Naidu piggybacking on Narendra Modi, or is Narendra Modi hoping to piggyback on him in Andhra?
I would say Chandrababu Naidu.
Okay, all right. Okay, so let me put that question to the BJP. NV Subhash joining us. Mr. Subhash, you know, we've already had this conversation in regards to Nitish Kumar. Chandrababu Naidu left the NDA in very unpleasant, some would say ugly circumstances. Many people in the BJP at the highest levels were deeply upset in the manner which he, not that he left alone, but the manner in which he left. He was accused of being opportunistic. Leaving the NDA pretty much destroyed him. He got wiped out politically. So why aren't you today saying told you so and going alone? Why do you need him back? Subhash, if you can hear us. Okay, obviously can't hear us. We'll sort that out because, you know, we'll have a momentum to the debate. So
can I respond for 1 minute?
Yeah, please go ahead. Go ahead, Mr.
Yes.
Krishna. Go ahead.
See, I think Mr. Gyanendra earlier, one of your guests had mentioned something about development. So I just want to comment on that. See, first of all, it's a myth that has been propagated by our opposition here that there's been no development. Let me just outline some quick facts quickly in a minute. First thing, we have spent more than 50,000 crores on education, right? Whether it's school redevelopment, incentives to mothers to send kids to school. This is not a freebie to the poor. Investing in our kids for the future is what I consider development. Second thing, we have invested more than 40,000 crores on healthcare, 12 new medical colleges, refurbishment of thousands of health clinics across the state, a flagship Arogyashri health insurance program started by YSRCP, which has been expanded by Jagan,
Okay.
Mr. Jagan Reddy. Third thing is we are building 2 new ports, fishing harbors. We've built a number of flyovers. There's been a tons of investments that have come into the state.
Okay.
So there's been a lot of development.
Okay, but Mr. Krishna, let me put the question in a different way, right? The object of politics and campaigning and elections is to come to power, is to win and be in power, right? Now,
Well,
obviously, you can't be in power at the center simply on the back of your own 18, 19 seats, whatever, and if you can potentially win a few more if fortune favors you. So why would somebody want to vote for you in a general election, knowing full well that whether Congress comes to power or Modi comes to power, you are not going to be in power. You will just send Lok Sabha MPs who don't have a hope in to be part of government. Why should they vote for you at the national level?
See, that question, sir, is relevant for every regional party, right? Not just for us. I mean, that's relevant for very, very strong regional parties across the country. So by that logic, no regional party should have an MP. No, that's not the case, right?
Okay.
The whole purpose of MPs at the state level is to represent our state's interests. And whoever the people of Andhra Pradesh think represents their state interests in Delhi, the best they'll vote for them.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's take 2 or 3 minutes. Let's see what the tone and tempo is being set in Tamil Nadu for our viewers. You just heard Chandrababu Naidu speaking. Let's quickly listen to what Narendra Modi is saying. Okay, first major rally with the TDP there. You can literally see the Kamal logo and the cycle logo together, and we get an opportunity just to reflect. And the translations are happening live into Telugu as we speak. So let's listen and we'll get a flavor. We'll probably get an understanding what's being talked about, and then we come back and pick up this conversation.
बिगुल बजा है और आज मैं आप सबके बीच आंध्र प्रदेश में हूं। यहां मुझे कोटप कोंडा से ब्रह्मा, विष्णु और महेश तीनों का आशीर्वाद मिल रहा है। त्रिदेवों के इस आशीर्वाद से हमारी सरकार के तीसरे कार्यकाल में देश और भी बड़े निर्णय लेगा। आप सब देखिए, ये संयोग देखिए, इस बार चुनावों के परिणाम 4 जून को आने वाले हैं। अब पूरा देश कह रहा है 4 जून को 400 पार, विकसित भारत के लिए 400 पार, विकसित आंध्र प्रदेश के लिए 400 पार, नालगो वंदलो दाताली एनडीए की ఓటు వేయాలి.
ఆంధ్ర రాష్ట్ర కుటుంబ సభ్యులందరికీ నా నమస్కారాలు అని తెలియజేస్తూ, నిన్ననే ఎన్నికల షెడ్యూల్ రావడం జరిగింది. వచ్చిన వెనువెంటనే నేను ఇవాళ ఆంధ్ర రాష్ట్రానికి వచ్చాను. ఇక్కడ నేను కోటప్పకొండ దగ్గర బ్రహ్మ, విష్ణు, మహేశ్వరుల యొక్క ఆశీర్వాదం లభిస్తున్నట్టుగా నేనైతే భావిస్తున్నాను. ఈ ముగ్గురు ఆశీర్వాదం కూడా మరోసారి, అంటే ముచ్చటగా మూడోసారి మనం అధికారంలోకి వచ్చి దృఢమైనటువంటి నిర్ణయాలు తీసుకునేటువంటి అవకాశాన్ని మనం హస్తగతం చేసుకోబోతున్నాం. ఒక్కసారి ఆలోచించండి, ఇది ఎంత ఆశ్చర్యకరమైనటువంటి విషయమో. ఈసారి ఎన్నికల యొక్క ఫలితాలు జూన్ 4వ తారీఖున రాబోతున్నాయి. అంటే జూన్ 4వ తారీఖున వచ్చేటువంటి ఫలితాలు ఎన్డీఏ కూటమికి 400 పైచిలుకు సీట్లని ఇవ్వబోతున్నది అని చెప్పి మనం గ్రహించాలి. అంటే అభివృద్ధి చెందినటువంటి భారతదేశం కావాలి అంటే 400 సీట్లు మనం దాటాలి. అభివృద్ధి చెందిన ఆంధ్ర రాష్ట్రాన్ని చూడాలంటే ఎన్డీఏ కూటమికి 400 పైచిలుకు సీట్లు మీరు అందివ్వాలి. కనుక మీరందరూ కూడా నడుం బిగించి రాబోయే ఎన్నికల్లో ఎన్డీఏ కూటమికి 400 సీట్లు పైచిలుకుగా అందే విధంగా మీరందరూ కూడా కష్టించి కృషి చేయాలి.
साथियों, हमारा एनडीए गठबंधन रीजनल एस्पिरेशंस और नेशनल प्रोग्रेस दोनों को साथ लेकर चलता है. इस चुनाव में बीजेपी के सहयोग हमारे साथी लगातार बढ़ रहे हैं. एनडीए की ताकत बढ़ रही है. चंद्रबाबू नायडू और पवन कल्याण दोनों लंबे समय से आप लोगों के हक के लिए, आंध्र के विकास के लिए दिन रात आपके लिए काम करते रहे हैं. एनडीए का लक्ष्य है विकसित भारत के लिए विकसित आंध्र प्रदेश का निर्माण. आंध्र प्रदेश में एनडीए की डबल इंजन सरकार होने से यहां के विकास को और गति मिलेगी.
ఎన్డీఏ కూటమి ఏదైతే ఉన్నదో ప్రాంతీయ భావాలతో పాటు జాతీయ యొక్క భావాల్ని కూడా కలుపుకుంటూ అడుగు ముందుకు వేస్తుంది అని చెప్పి మనం అందరం కూడా ఇక్కడ గమనించాలి. ఎన్డీఏ కూటమిలో వచ్చి చేరేటువంటి భాగస్వాముల యొక్క సంఖ్య పెరగడంతో ఎన్డీఏ కూటమి బలం పుంజుకుంటున్నది. చంద్రబాబు నాయుడు గారు కావచ్చు, అదేవిధంగా పవన్ కళ్యాణ్ గారు కావచ్చు, వారిరువురు కూడా చాలా సమయం, చాలా కాలం పాటు ఆంధ్ర రాష్ట్ర వికాసానికి వారు చేసినటువంటి కృషిని మనం ఖచ్చితంగా దాన్ని గమనించవలసినటువంటి అవసరం ఉన్నది. ఎన్డీఏ కూటమి యొక్క లక్ష్యం ఒక వికసిత భారతదేశం, అంటే అభివృద్ధి చెందినటువంటి భారతదేశం. అభివృద్ధి చెందినటువంటి భారతదేశాన్ని గనక మనం లక్ష్యంగా తీసుకున్నట్లయితే ఆంధ్ర రాష్ట్ర అభివృద్ధి కూడా అంతే మనకి ప్రాముఖ్యం అని చెప్పి మనమందరం కూడా గుర్తించాలి. కనుక ఆంధ్ర రాష్ట్రంలో ఎన్డీఏ డబుల్ ఇంజిన్ ప్రభుత్వం అంటే కేంద్రంలో ఎన్డీఏ, అదే విధంగా ఆంధ్ర రాష్ట్రంలో కూడా ఎన్డీఏ ప్రభుత్వం ఉండవలసినటువంటి ఆవశ్యకతను గమనించండి.
साथियों, केंद्र की एनडीए सरकार गरीब की सेवा करने वाली गरीब की सेवा करने वाली सरकार है, गरीब की चिंता करने वाली सरकार है. हमारी सरकार के 10 साल में 25 करोड़ लोग गरीबी से बाहर निकले हैं. पूरी दुनिया में एनडीए सरकार के विकास कार्यों की चर्चा हो रही है. एनडीए सरकार ने आंध्र प्रदेश में गरीबों को पीएम आवास योजना के करीब 10 लाख घर दिए हैं. यहां पलनाडु में गरीबों को करीब 5,000 पक्के घर बनाकर दिए गए हैं. जल जीवन मिशन के तहत आंध्र प्रदेश के करीब 1 करोड़ परिवारों तक नल का कनेक्शन पहुंचा है. आयुष्मान भारत योजना के तहत यहां 1.25 करोड़ से ज्यादा गरीबों ने अपना मुफ्त इलाज कराया है. आज एनडीए सरकार की वजह से यहां पलनाडु के 5 लाख से ज्यादा जरूरतमंदों को मुफ्त राशन भी मिल रहा है. हमारी सरकार किसानों की छोटी छोटी जरूरतों को भी ध्यान रख रही है. पीएम किसान सम्मान निधि के तहत यहां पलनाडु के किसानों को 700 करोड़ रुपए से ज्यादा दिए गए हैं. यहां केंद्र सरकार की योजनाएं और बेहतर तरीके से लागू हो, इसके लिए आपको ज्यादा से ज्यादा संख्या में एनडीए के सांसद, एनडीए के विधायक, इनको जिताना है. एनडीए के सभी सांसद, एनडीए के सभी विधायक बहुत सेवा भाव से आपके लिए काम करेंगे. ये मोदी की गारंटी है.
కేంద్రంలో ఉన్నటువంటి ఎన్డీఏ ప్రభుత్వం ఏదైతే ఉన్నదో
Now you've got a understanding of the tone and tenor that is being set. You're seeing Prime Minister Narendra Modi repeatedly putting his NDA allies, led by Chandrababu Naidu, up front. He's spoken of the double engine Sarkar because remember both elections are happening here. He's spoken about regional aspirations as well as national vikas and how those two work together. And he's of course talking about central government schemes that have delivered development in Andhra Pradesh. Now the question of course remains, is this the formula that hits? Because the tone and tenor is, he's not here simply just bashing Jagan Reddy and bashing the YSR Congress, being critical of them, but speaking about what kind of development has been done and will be done in a very confident fashion, suggesting that the plan of action for big decisions, Nirnayak, which is to make decision making on big level, is all set coming up in the new Lok Sabha that is constituted on the 4th of May. Let me quickly bring this back to where we left it off. NV Subhash joining us with Bharatiya Janata Party. But before that, let me go back to Rajalakshmi Joshi. Rajalakshmi Joshi, so what is this telling us about the campaign strategy when a Narendra Modi comes out and says repeatedly, and that's become the plank, that is 400 we are targeting, and 400 we are targeting as NDA, not necessarily BJP?
Yes, Rishabh, he is actually being the face of the NDA, and at the same time, he's taking together all his alliance partners also. And, none of the alliance partners have actually made any noise about it. Like, if you see that there have been, a whole lot of unwarranted comments from everybody in the India alliance. So, especially about the Congress. But then you see that there is no such thing about any such comment from the from any of the NDA alliance partners about the BJP, in spite of the fact that yes, there are definitely some seat sharing calculations yet to be done in a few states, but then you won't find any such thing because they definitely seem to have a very nice understanding with all the alliance partners. And also, it does look like, the alliance partners also know that they're definitely in safe hands with the BJP, and they don't want to go out of it.
Okay, so why not? Okay, so let me put the question to NV Subhash. NV Subhash, but you had options. Can the BJP have its cake and eat it too? That right now, your best friends are necessarily Chandrababu Naidu, but in a post-election scenario, who knows? Maybe the NDA could see Chandrababu Naidu leave and Jagan Reddy come in. Are you looking to both sorts of options?
See, we are open for Chandrababu Naidu earlier also because he happens to be our, the partner. This is not the first time he has joined with NDA. Earlier in 1999 also, if you are aware. From 2004, he was also our partner. So for his own political reasons, in 2017-18, he left the party, and then just NDA, and then he wanted to fight on its own. But as far as the post-election scenario is concerned, we want all the NDA partners to be in the same boat because they have the common the platform, they have the common minimum program, that is the development. And this is the third time we are expecting NDA government to form with a huge and
okay, that's what you hope, but that's at the center. Okay, 400 seats at the center. But what about in Andhra Pradesh? Can Chandrababu Naidu return with your support? I mean, what do you bring to the table in Andhra Pradesh that Chandrababu Naidu benefits from? Mr. Subhash. Okay, well, sometimes networks also fail us in our ability to have this conversation. Mr. Subhash, if you can hear us, what do you bring to the table as the BJP for Chandrababu Naidu in defeating Jagan in the Andhra elections?
Can you hear me? Am I audible to you?
Yeah, but not very well, sir. It's not going well. I'm going to try to get this sorted out and come back to you. So let me pose that question meanwhile, if I can, to Gyanendra Mishra ji. Gyanendra Mishra ji, what does the BJP offer Chandrababu Naidu other than maybe legitimacy?
Yeah, so that's a very good question, that you are asking, Mr. Gulati. And this is what basically where, the real question lies, that what BJP is going to offer to Chandrababu Naidu. And so what I am hoping is that Chandrababu Naidu is just hoping that BJP will bring some votes, Hindu votes, or some pockets of votes where the BJP is comparatively stronger to the Chandrababu's fold. And that also reflected in the kind of seat sharing where BJP is got as a very minuscule number of seats out of the total seat. So what my belief is that what Chandrababu Naidu is trying to hope here is that he will get some votes of BJP You know, I don't know how much that is going to really, get into or converted into the real vote sharing between them. And so, in my view,
Okay.
it is for in this alliance, I think BJP requires Chandrababu Naidu more than Chandrababu Naidu requiring
You can
BJP.
argue the other way that Chandrababu Naidu, as we've been discussing since the beginning of this telecast, has been in political wilderness. Certainly having Narendra Modi standing side by side and giving you a pat on the back is something that was sorely, maybe even desperately needed. Let me try to get Mr.
Yes.
Mishra into this conversation, who's been patiently listening in. Mr. Mishra, let me put that question to you. Why go with Chandrababu Naidu? Did you approach Jagan Reddy? Was he not interested?
No, it's about the comprehensive development of whole country, whether it is North India, South India, East or West, anywhere. And our basic slogan is there that Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Prayas and Sabka Vishwas. And the best part of Modi's politics is that Modi ji has shifted the basic platform of Indian politics. How? He shifted politics of corruption to politics of perfection. He shifted platform from slogan to solution. And he shifted platform from promise to performance. Also, he shifted platform from parivar to people. And it's not on the slogan alone. He also work on speed and scale. If you go on speed and scale of this party, this Modi ji government, then if I would like to tell that in last 75 days, the Indian government has expended around $110 billion on the infrastructure development in the country. And $110 billion is GDP of almost 65 countries of whole world. Means 65 countries have $110 billion GDP. And such a GDP was expended in last only 75 days. So you can think on what speed and what scale Modi ji is thinking. And everybody is planning for election of 2024. Yesterday on conclave, even you people asked that he is planning for 29. But what was his answer? His answer was he is not planning for 29. He is planning for 2047. And which will give the foundation of
all right, but that doesn't
years
necessarily answer my question. The question, and let me pose it in a different way. Okay. For the benefit of the people of Andhra, we are assuming for a second that the Jagan Reddy party are not fans of the Congress, given what happened to Jagan Reddy himself under the Congress rule at the center. Okay. But they have not joined you either. You would think you are natural allies. That here's a person who dislikes the Congress but doesn't want to join you. In a post-election scenario, does the person with the highest Lok Sabha seat become your friend? If it's Naidu, great. If it's not, so be it, Jagan.
Politics is all about the discussion and negotiation. And it doesn't happen at the level of TV debate. It happened at behind the corridors.
Okay. So you're not saying no. You're not saying no. Okay, but right now it's Chandrababu Naidu.
It's all about the combination. It's about the lock and key.
You're not saying no. I'm going to smile and give Krishna ji a chance to respond to that. Krishna ji, why not? Why not keep the option open?
I think Dr. Mishra has answered, in his own way, in his own subtle way, he has answered this question, which is that by not giving a very clear answer as to why BJP has teamed up with Chandrababu Naidu. Frankly speaking, we don't understand why they've teamed up either. So let's leave it at that.
Okay, but on the substantive issue, 18 national highways, the Visakhapatnam light metro, new terminal in Vijayawada, the Polavaram lift irrigation project, the Ramyapatnam port. I'm being told that an energy cloud storage platform has been set. There are 8 lakh Jan Dhan Yojana beneficiaries, 50 lakh Kisan Yojana beneficiaries. Okay, you've just heard the PM speak of the Awas Yojana beneficiaries. Surely it is to the benefit of the people of Andhra, the good work that Narendra Modi has also done at the center.
We are in no way debating, that point, right? We are very clearly saying that Mr. Narendra Modi, just like, as per the devolution formula adopted by the Finance Commission, funds come from the center to the state. States don't have their own taxation method under our constitution. Funds come from the center to the state. through grants and through the devolution formula. And Andhra Pradesh has received, it has received its share of funds from the central government. And in many projects, just like in other states, in many projects in Andhra Pradesh, there is a state and center funding formula. So we implement that as per the agreed upon programs that the center has with multiple states. So we are not debating that point in any way. All we are saying is that I think teaming up with TDP is a bad idea for BJP.
Okay.
And I think we are going to do very well in the coming election.
Okay. So then let me ask before we wind up and run out of time. Let me ask the most base question, which is, what is, if you're sitting in Andhra Pradesh, okay, and you're seeing the permutations and combinations, you probably have a liking or disliking for certain individuals or political parties or not. You maybe have a political leaning or not, but surely you're thinking, what's the best for Andhra Pradesh? Rajalakshmi Joshi, what is the best? Is it what Narendra Modi as Prime Minister is telling us, that look, double engine sarkar is the best? But despite not having a double engine sarkar, nonetheless, there is a track record of development that has taken place in Andhra Pradesh. It's happened, and the PM is himself talking about all the beneficiaries that have come out. So what's the best formula for the people of Andhra? What should they hope for come 2 months from now?
Rishabh, that's a very interesting question. There are a lot of states where there is a complete conflict between the center and the states. Now, that is not as much in Andhra Pradesh, but they did have some conflicts in some 2 or 3 issues. But that is what I think the PM is trying to eliminate. He doesn't want any of these issues coming up. And I would understand.
Okay, so let me refine this again. I'm trying to have a specific conversation. Rajalakshmi Joshi, let us discuss the permutations combination. Permutation combination is that the BJP and Chandrababu do really well in Lok Sabha, okay, and they get the majority of the seats. So they get the 19-20 and the YSRCP falls behind, okay. In which case Chandrababu Naidu is part of the government at the center, okay. He might get a union cabinet ministership himself, but that's if he loses in the state. So what happens if the NDA wins the majority of the seats at the center but loses in the state? Versus what happens if actually Jagan gets the majority of the Lok Sabha seats? Let's say the NDA gets only 3-4 and Jagan gets 19-20 once again. Is he better suited than to join the NDA and bolster the numbers for the NDA at the center and not Naidu?
Rishabh, what I see as a reason why Jagan Mohan Reddy doesn't want to join hands with the BJP is because he knows that if the BJP gets a foothold there, then they will definitely increase, and that they definitely did have a base in Andhra Pradesh, and only the entire that domination has been lost since the formation of Telangana is how I would see it. Like before that, if you remember. So they were definitely there. The BJP was there. They did have some numbers, which they completely lost after the formation of Telangana.
Okay.
And the Congress was completely wiped out.
Okay, but that still doesn't answer my question. Let me try with Ashutosh ji. Ashutosh ji, there can be many scenarios. Of course, Chandrababu Naidu is hoping that he becomes chief minister and gets the opportunity to send with maybe 10-15 seats in the Lok Sabha, some union ministers also. That's the ideal scenario. He's been there, done that before. Okay. But in another likely scenario, maybe the NDA does better at the center, or maybe Jagan wins the majority of the seats and Chandrababu Naidu does not become chief minister once again. Would it be better for the people of Andhra, Jagan Reddy, who might not be friends and allies with Narendra Modi, but certainly is not as hostile as Mamata Banerjee is, would it be better for Jagan Reddy in a post-poll scenario, if he gets the majority of Lok Sabha seats, to consider joining the NDA?
It is in the best interest of the people of Andhra if they join NDA, because if they have double engine sarkar, there will be development faster than the Jagan Reddy alone can do. So I hope that if they get majority of the Lok Sabha seats in Andhra, he would definitely like to join NDA at the center.
Okay, all right. So let me get Mr. Krishna back into this conversation with a different tack of questioning, and we leave it there as we run out of time. Mr. Krishna, on the other side of things, you have chosen to not ally yourself with this other formulation that is being put in forth. And as we speak, of course, there's a rally happening in Mumbai in which a lot of this India Alliance members are gathering. Not all of them, but some of them. Do you, as a premise, agree with what Rahul Gandhi is basing his electoral campaign on, that there's a caste census, that there is need for a job guarantee, that there is a need to remove Narendra Modi because the country should be in fear of his autocracy? Some people have even gone on to say that this election will be the last election.
No, first of all, we have absolutely no affection or interest in joining any alliance. And frankly speaking, I don't think this India alliance, so-called India alliance that the Congress is heading, has any hope of winning much seats anywhere in the country. So I think that's a non-starter to begin with. And you know, frankly speaking, our interest is Andhra Pradesh. We are a regional party. We are focused on the development of Andhra Pradesh and on the interests of the people of Andhra Pradesh. So we will, you know, whatever MPs that we win in Andhra Pradesh, and we are confident of winning more than 22 MPs this time, all our 22 plus MPs will vote on an issue-based, on the bills in Parliament, will vote on an issue-based basis on the interests of the country, obviously on the country, and on the interests based on the interests of the people of Andhra Pradesh.
Okay.
So,
okay. So, Mr. Krishna, why, for example, you, and it's a truism, the same is true for Naveen Patnaik. He's pretty happy minding his own affairs in Odisha.
Right.
Why that? Why are there other leaders who are right now only regional leaders, but they feel that unless you have a strong national presence, you know, it's not the same. Mamata Banerjee could be perfectly happy winning 3 terms in Bengal, but she's not. Nitish Kumar could have been perfectly happy with his several terms as Bihar Chief Minister, but he's not. They feel that national politics is important. Why do you feel otherwise?
See, I mean, each person is entitled to their own opinion. You know, our party's philosophy and Mr. Jagan Reddy's thinking is that Andhra Pradesh is a new state. It has a long way to go to catch up with the rest of the country. Our focus is the development of Andhra Pradesh, and for the foreseeable future, Mr. Jagan Reddy wants to focus on Andhra Pradesh and use his MPs, all the MPs that we win, to help in that goal. Okay. So that's our opinion. And that's our
last question to you, sir. You've seen other leaders, the DMK, for example, say very nasty things. You've heard Udayanidhi Stalin speaking about Sanatan Dharma. He's not talking about reform. He could have spoken about reform, but he chose to say it in an ugly way. You've seen A. Raja, recently talking about that, the South doesn't see India as a united country. Every political party has, and especially a regional party, has a regional sentiment, a language sentiment, a cultural sentiment that affects your voters. Why do you feel that this sort of hyper-regionalism has not been required by you, where others are still relying upon it?
It's not the question of being required. I think Mr. Jagan Reddy doesn't believe in that philosophy. Andhra Pradesh is a part of India, is a part of Bharat. And, we all have to work together with the center to develop all regions of India, and for us, Andhra Pradesh. And that's it. I think all this rhetoric of trying to divide people and all doesn't work. I mean, we don't believe in that.
Okay, Ashutosh Sharma, so at least then for the people of Andhra Pradesh, what should they be hoping? Should they be hoping for a double engine sarkar, regardless whether it is Naidu or Jagan?
They should think in the best interest of the state. Like my friend was saying, the Andhra is a new state. Telangana got separated from Andhra. And the best interest for the state is to join double engine sarkar so that the progress of progress of Andhra Pradesh could be much more faster than doing it their own. If the center and the state government, they are working in tandem together, so naturally the progress of the state will be much more faster.
Okay, Gyanendra Mishra, last thought to you, and I leave the last word with Mr. Subhash, who I think is back with us. Gyanendra ji, what then if you're sitting in Andhra Pradesh, okay, and there will be a certain percentage of people who don't necessarily have a party loyalty or a favorite, and are just thinking practically, what would you say is the best hope for Andhra in your humble opinion?
I think in my humble opinion, I think that the Congress is going to do very well, both in a Lok Sabha and Assembly election. Given that their performance in Telangana and Karnataka, I completely see this picture emerging in Andhra Pradesh for a very good performance for Congress.
Okay, so you're saying actually YS Sharmila is going to be the dark horse in the race. Why wouldn't you feel that YS Sharmila will actually cut the votes of her brother and advantage Chandrababu Naidu?
Yes.
Yes, she will cut the votes, or yes, she won't cut the votes?
No, see, the vote will ultimately is coming to Congress because Congress is fighting out in a very constructive agenda, given their performance and strength they have got in Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh. Telangana. I think in assembly election as well as in the Lok Sabha election, you will see the performance of Congress is getting better.
Okay, so you're saying, you're betting that don't discount the Congress. It's not Jagan versus Naidu. There is a Congress factor here. Don't ignore it. I'll leave the last word with NV Subhash. Mr. Subhash, what is the Bharatiya Janata Party? Your top boss, Prime Minister, has come out and said it's the NDA in Andhra Pradesh. But there is also a BJP part of the NDA. And I'm sure you're hoping that you win seats on your accord also. What's your plan? What's the BJP's plan for winning seats in Andhra?
Yeah, see, we are the partner of NDA, and then the TDP is an erstwhile partner. We don't want to leave them, and then we had an electoral just alliance. Earlier, you were asking that what will happen, the future, whether we'll go for the TDP or for the Jagan. That question really doesn't arise because NDA is going to be winning at least 400 seats and above. So there is no question of going with the Jagan party. As far as Andhra Pradesh is concerned, definitely we will be having a very good the partnership with TDP, and then TDP is all set to form the government along with BJP and with the Jagan Sabha, the Pawan Kalyan's party. So we are the national party. Definitely we wanted to make a mark. We wanted to grow on our own, even in the south. As you know earlier, yesterday Honorable Prime Minister Modi was telling in Telangana that Telangana will be the gateway for the South India.
Okay, it's fascinating. It's absolutely fascinating, and I'll leave that conversation here. And for people watching the broadcast, especially from Andhra Pradesh, from the south of India, you're seeing a very interesting pattern develop. Okay, so you see a Nitish Kumar and a Mamata Banerjee very aggressive about national politics. Arvind Kejriwal very aggressive about national politics, going from state after state. Okay, the DMK very happy currently. In fact, they have toned down even their presence and engagement with the national media, with Delhi leaders. They're very happy focusing on Tamil Nadu. Okay, and the seats they win at the center. Jagan very happy focusing only on Andhra. He has almost no interaction with the national media whatsoever. Okay. Naveen Patnaik very happy in Odisha. Pinarayi Vijayan very happy focusing on Kerala, even though of course he has certain party leaders who are still active in national politics and would hope for some sort of left resurgence. A very interesting pattern developed. It's politics, but what is the bottom line today is that Chandrababu Naidu's wilderness years have at least concluded with standing shoulder to shoulder with what is the current tallest leader in politics is Narendra Modi. Whether that translates into votes and wins, we'll find out in a couple of months.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.